I was just thinking about these moments in history that there was a whole bunch of great thinkers in a certain spot, whether it was the Rand Corporation, it was, um, you know, it was, um, Austria before, the Second World War, whether it was Florence in Italy during the Renaissance, whether it was a sort of where the Greeks were. I think about like, man, it is very precious to get a place, to get a moment that really is just intellectually stimulating and interesting and just kind of kooky, right? Like it's very kooky to have these moments in history where people are just able to think about ideas without having somebody telling you that you're wrong, that you're stupid, sort of, on a mass scale and sort of culturally on a mass scale to have psychological safety, the idea that you could speak up and say whatever's on your mind without somebody, chastising you or silencing you in some sort of way. And I was thinking about like how remarkable those moments in history are where there's just like weird blip that happens and I would say that we're not necessarily in a renaissance right now, but also we're able to say a lot more than what we used to, right? The sort of democratization of information and thought is a lot more than what it used to be, and especially back in those days. Um, compared to those days. But still, those moments that are blips, that there's a weird spot, that there's a lot of ideas that are happening in that weird spot in that moment. It is really kind of interesting that that happens. And then on the other side, it's more interesting, I think, is why that actually just disappears. Um, and there's all sorts of factors about why that disappears. But I think a huge part of it is people just get to a moment where they are uncomfortable with something that is being said or done that, reflects human nature and reflects how we are as a person so well, that it reveals something about ourselves. And that sort of revealing of ourselves makes us feel kind of all sorts of negative, weird, and negative emotions that nobody really likes, right? So, you might feel guilt, or you might feel, um, I don't know, like you might feel embarrassment, or it might bring up a lot of negative emotions when you're a kid of being abused or whatever, like all of these kind of things, right? um, and then we automatically, because we don't like those feelings, we automatically want to shut them down and shut them out of our lives, and so we want to shut it out, broadly, and sort of silence the ideas that are being created, which inevitably silences people. And they don't want to hear it, right? They don't want to participate in what's going on, and they just kind of say, well, you know what, I'm just going to keep on the low down and not say interesting ideas. And to some degree, everything that we say, even me, I'm thinking about this right now. I'm like, what are people going to say when they hear me say this, right, out loud? To some degree, everything is going to trigger all of these kind of emotions. It's not just positive things that come up. It's not just you saying really good things always, but some negative, not so good things that will come up. And we have to sort of um, understand that that's going to happen. It's always going to happen where people are not going to like what you say, and it doesn't matter what it says. And how do we deal with that? How do we sort of think about like what, how to manage this? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how to manage it, but it's something to be thought about. And I think it's an important part of um, how we be human, is how do we manage the idea that we can speak out and say things that are interesting but are uncomfortable to the broader group of people that are there. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.